Hello guys, it's Grace.Filled Reads and I am here with another vlog, and this time I am reading In the Fields of Grace, a novel by Tessa Afshar. So it is my nighttime reading. So you guys know that all my vlogs, it's the end of the, well, this is my second one. Hello guys, it's Grace.Filled and I am reading In the Fields of Grace by Tessa Afshar, and it is again my nighttime reading vlog. So me reading a couple of chapters before bed, and yeah, I'm really excited about this book. It's good. If you haven't watched it already, I did another reading vlog for Not a Word by Shatana Had, and now I'm reading this one, and I am one page away from chapter 6, but it is so good, and so I thought that I would just talk about it and share it with you guys because it's good. So I love the way this story starts off. Like, I absolutely love how Naomi treats Ruth. It is just so amazing how she shows her love and attention at the market. And it's really amazing to see how Ruth took care of her grandfather and the love that she showed and shown. But it was really sad that she didn't have a lot of love shown to her. And I totally can relate and understand that story in her. And so I'm loving this book already because I can relate so much to it. Unfortunately, tragedy happens, and we know the story in the Bible. Both of the sons die, and now they're setting off to back to their hometown. They're leaving to Moab. I think they're leaving Moab and they're headed back to Israel. And they didn't have a lot of money now. And they sold what they did have, so they kind of, I think, had to travel the cheaper path. You know, it's like how you have those first class flights and hotels that are couple, I'm sorry, it's not funny, but that are a couple $100s. And then, you know, you got, what is that? That Spirit airline got your motel 6 and 8 and all that. So anyway, they're traveling with a caravan that's not the first class. This is the point. They're traveling the economic way. And so what in the world? They've got these crazy guys guiding them. And what do you know? Oh, robbers come. And these guys are like drunks. And like they got rusty daggers and stuff. So it was a whole bootleg thing. They just took the money and not really doing the right thing. But anyway, they pray. Ruth and Naomi, they're praying. And out of the blue, this lion comes. Like, literally, I wasn't even planning on doing a vlog of this. But when that lion came, I was like, oh. The Lord will provide. He will protect. He's so sovereign in all his ways. We don't have to understand. He's just a good father, and he protects his people. And so, you know, it wouldn't be the night vlogs without the crazy bangs, you know. I don't understand, but it's okay. So let's get back to seeing what happens here, because it's getting real good. I think I look like that lion. Okay, so Boaz, well, let's go back. So Ruth and Naomi make it to their home, but I think there's been like some rodents and bugs and all kinds of things like that. And so Ruth is, she works so hard. She works for a whole week, as hard as she is, to clean the place and to fix it up and just to really make it nice and cozy and sweet. And so they're talking about the gleaners, and Ruth goes to get ready to go glean. And she's trying to ask Naomi, right, like, where should I go? Like, who's going to be good to me? And Naomi's just kind of in a mood. Naomi's just really sad. And if you don't know sadness and grief, like, she knows it, praise God, because grief is hard to deal with. And it is certainly a challenge to get through, to overcome, to rise from, to get back strength and joy and things like that. So she's just a little help at this point. And anyway, Ruth goes and she's like, Lord, tell me the field to go to. So Boaz has been interrupted by his cousin. His cousin's there. She's talking to him. She leaves, and he just decides to go to one of his fields. How many of you know that the Lord does all things well and by purpose, and that your footsteps can be ordered by the Most High, Yahweh, God, Yeshua HaMashiach. So anyway, he gets over there and he's like saying hi to everybody and he's blessing everybody. And of course, everybody loves him because he's so respectful. And he sees someone and he's like, oh, who is that? And they're like, oh, that's Ruth. She's with Naomi. And I couldn't refuse her. She's so sweet. So he wants to go meet her because he's attracted to her. I think it said he turned red or something. I'm like, oh, okay. So he likes her. She must be something nice. So he goes to talk to her. And he's like, hi, daughter, or something. And she's like, ooh, she's so scared. And he's like, no, like, you're okay. Oh, and I love this. Oh, we know the story, but I love that he's like, listen, men, don't you think about touching her. Don't think about messing with her. She's going to be safe. There's water here. Don't even bother going to anybody else's land. Stay here. So I didn't even finish this because I just had to pull it up because, you know, I think I was feeling a little moisture on my eyes. Like, what is this moisture on my eyes? And it said, he was taken aback when Ruth fell at his feet with movements as graceful as a doe. She abased herself until her face rested on the ground. With a wave of the hand, he signaled for her to rise up. Instead of standing, she sat on her knees before him. What have I done to deserve this great kindness, my lord? Oh, her voice was sweet and feminine, just a hint of tears pushed down. She hesitated, as if trying to decide if she should say more. Taking a gulping breath, she added, why have I found such favor in your eyes? Why should you take notice of me? I'm not even an Israelite. I'm a foreigner in your land. He says, I know where you're from, but I also know what you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband. I am aware that you left your father and your mother in your native land and chose to come to people who were complete strangers to you. He studied her kneeling form, her lowered head, her drooping shoulders, and decided to say more. She deserved a little encouragement after what she's been through. You chose to be an outsider for the sake of a hurting widow. You accepted loneliness so that she can have companionship. He did all this because he refused to abandon Naomi. I know. I feel teary. Ruth wiped a hand against her girdle. He noticed her nails were ragged and encrusted with dirt. Yet even the dirt could not hide the fact that her slender fingers were long and alluring. They were also shaken violently. You know about me? What she really meant was, you know about me and you still show me kindness? He sensed her astonishment. He felt a strange catch in his breath as he thought of her vulnerability. Other than Naomi, she had no one. She had even abandoned her gods who reigned in Moab and had no part of Israel. She come to take shelter with the Lord, though the Lord's people showed her little welcome. Without meaning to do so, he stretched out his arm toward her. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. And may the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge, give you a full reward. He said the blessing loud enough for everyone around them to hear, like a sort of public declaration of his approval and for God's mercy. She blinked away the sheen of tears that had gathered in her eyes. He fisted his hand to keep himself from reaching out to gently wipe them away. Okay, so y'all, this is just too much for your girl. Oh my goodness. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about this? I need to go to bed. I have a lot of lessons to teach tomorrow to the children, to my babies. I'm tired. I'm on break. So no classes for this week. And tonight I redid my prayer closet in my master bedroom. And on this week of break, outside of reading all my books, I want to work on the kids' Legos. I want to work on my hallway. I think all that's gonna be done and clean, and then I want to do some meal prep on Sunday. That's it. And then I'll start class on Monday. But I'm loving this book. It's so good. So let me go. I might come back tonight. I might not. If I don't come back tonight, I'll be back probably tomorrow. And we'll talk more about this in the field of grace. Okay, so this is another sweet part in the story. So Boaz is talking to the men, and he's like, listen, y'all let Ruth have some food, drop some extra for her. He's talking to the women. He's like, be nice to her. I can't make you be her friends, but you better treat her nice. You better not be rude to her. And so then like they talk, and he lets her eat with him, and she tucks some away for Naomi. And of course he sees this and he knows this, and it just warms his heart so much. Like he's getting all the feels from her, and she's getting all the feels from him. Yeah, I love it. She said when he prayed, I'm like, yes, because it ain't nothing like a man who knows how to pray. If you don't have a husband, listen, don't be getting no. I was gonna say something, but I don't know if it's appropriate. Let me say it, and then if I think I'll edit it, I'll edit. You might be like, that's not godly like. It's your perception. Don't get no jackass. Don't get no dumbass. Don't get no broke ass. Get you a Boaz. I don't know where I heard that from, but it was funny. So anyway. So he was really, really good to her. And so, yeah. The next day he kind of met her. And he's like, wait, it's dark though. Like anything can happen. I'll make sure some girls walk with you. And she got so much food. Like in the one day, I think she said it was like 2 weeks worth of food. Then the second day she was like, yeah, we're gonna have enough to make it through the whole year, and I might be able to patch up the roof. So things are starting to look up. Naomi is beginning to speak about the Lord again. She hasn't spoke about the Lord in a while. She's just been very hurt. There was a lamb that got stuck into the thickets, and so she saw his horse, and she was wondering if he was okay. He comes out with this lamb. The lamb's got a broken leg, bruised, scraped, and he's like, yeah, that's like, she says, yeah, that's like Naomi. She's bruised, she's scraped, da 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 da. And I think it touches both of them. He rides off on that horse because he's like, oh. And she's like, yeah, let me get home. So they are really into each other, clearly. She's beautiful. He's handsome. He's so in love with the love that she has for, someone else. She's so in love with the love that he has for her, a stranger and a Moabite at that. Like, who has love for a Moabite? But isn't that what we're commanded? To have love for strangers and to show the love of Christ to everyone, not just the people who look like us, not just the people who act like us, right? Everyone, not just the people who groomed like us, but everyone that we encounter, everyone we meet, we ought to have love and respect and care for. So, on my lunchtime, reading a book. I get to do that though. On my lunchtime, I can read a book if I like. So I'll be back to share more. But yeah, this is where we are, ending 9, beginning at 10. And one of the things that I like, he says, well, she says, he has thousands of sheep, but the way he's treating this one that has a broken leg and the scratches, and it's like, isn't that like the good father? To have all these sheep, but that he'll leave his sheep to check on the one. And I love that song. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99, and I didn't earn it. I don't deserve it. Still, you gave yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. I love that song. Boaz is no God, but he is a natural representation and example of this physical or of this spiritual father that we have, that will leave the 99 to see about me. He will check on me in my moments of being caught in the thickets. Good God Almighty. When I'm caught in the thickets, when my leg is broke, he will come and check on me. He will see about me. He will make sure I'm okay. He will leave his precious, valued horse, okay, to come and to check on me, to find me crying, saying, Daddy, help me. I need help. I need help. I'm hurting, help me. I'm struggling, help me. I'm having a hard time, help me. And he's such a good father that he comes to the rescue and he helps me. So it's something about that reckless love of God. It's something about his love. There is none like him, and you can search for eternity, and I'm telling you, you won't find anybody like him. There is none like him. In the heavens, in the earth, under the earth. You won't find it in alcohol, cigarettes, men, women, drugs. You won't find it in any of those things. What you're looking for can only be found in him. Okay, so chapter 11 was just so sweet that I absolutely had to come back. So Ruth has been working, and the women have been walking home with her. And things are going good, but this one particular day, her sandal breaks. And so along the path home, because everybody goes without her, Boaz, of course, is there to meet her. And he tells her, oh, I'm going to walk you home because I'm going to go check on one of my orchards. And she's like, you have, orchards too? And he's like, yeah, I've got something. He tells her what he has. I think it's figs. And if you have not had a fresh fig, oh, they are so delicious. So there is a little guy that has crutches. And, Boaz is smiling, everything's okay. And just then, like, a bully, shoves him. And he falls on the ground. And so Boaz gets up in the middle. And he's like, shalom, and he's speaking to them. And they're all listening. And he tells Eli, you hop on my neck. And I'm going to be your feet. But you're going to tell me how to move. And I'm going to move according to what you say. And so the tall bully is like, the big boy, he's like, that's not fair because you're taller than, than us, and you're bigger than us. And he's like, well, wait, aren't you taller and bigger than everybody else? And it didn't stop you. I'm like, oh, okay, come on and set it straight then. So, needless to say, everybody's happy. The people that are on his and Eli's team obviously wins. This big guy, I think his name is Yaris. What is his name? Hold on, let me find out what his name is. Ya'ar. So he's not happy at all. And he makes, he tells his story. He's like, listen, master, I would have won if it wasn't for you. And Boaz begins to say, let me show you guys something. And he tries to pick up the tree, and he's like, is this the weakest part? And they're like, no, Master Boaz. And he's like, is this the weakest part? And they're like, no. And he breaks the twig, and when he breaks the twig, like a clump of fruit falls in his hand. He's like, is that the weakest thing? And they're like, yes. And so what the boy says to him is like, why would you help him? He's just a cripple. So that's when Boaz shows everybody. And I love this. It says, a short girl with two thick braids hanging down her back stepped forward. You mean Eli is like the stem? He may be the weakest of us, but he bears sweet fruit. Oh my goodness. I thought that sweet, right? Am I the only one who thinks that's sweet? Am I like, am I kind of corny? It touched my heart, okay? It touched my heart that the little girl could understand what he was saying and really understand what the Lord is saying to us. Because we're so quick to judge. We're so quick to be rude and to really just think about ourselves. And only the people that can play this game are the people who are well. And if you're crippled, if you got issues, if you got problems, if you can't be in this game, you can't be included, you can't be loved, you can't be, you can't have a good time or anything like that. So I love the fact that Boaz is like, no, let me tell you something. And that this girl gets a spiritual thing, you know, like, come on with it, that she gets it. He might be the weakest, but he bears sweet fruit. And so when you think about the gifts of the Spirit and you think about just our lives, what kind of fruits are you, listen, that's the whole message, okay? Let your girl just finish reading, because what kind of fruit are you bearing in your life? Are you bearing sweet fruit? Because I tell you what, you would probably rather be that weak twig with sweet fruit bearing much fruit than to be something strong and bearing no fruit or false fruit. I would dare not be an apple but be producing pears. Hello, if you're an apple, you need to produce apples. If you're a pear, you need to produce pears. So it matters what we are producing. Yes, this book, I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. Biblical fiction, you know, I never knew what my genre is. Biblical fiction is my genre. From now on, my channel is going to have an emphasis on biblical fiction because I love it. Your girl loves it. So, he said, so Ruth has found this olive branch, and she doesn't know that it's Boaz's. And so she goes there one Sabbath just for like some rest and just to kind of, it's her like secret, like favorite spot. And so she hears a voice behind her and it's him. I love it. It's him. And they're talking and he's like, digs are the same way. They root themselves into this harsh, rocky bed and produce from it the sweetness of honey. These trees give much more freely than they receive. It's hard not to admire them. And I just took so many notes, but on chapter 14, I had to take this note because it says like Mahathith comes to visit Ruth, and she's staying, and it says Ruth felt a kinship with the young woman, gentle as a spring shower, and it says she soothed those around her with an easy company. She judged no one, having herself suffered under hard judgment once. I wrote, be like that. Be the type of person that does not judge. Be the type of person that's easy. Be the person that's loving, that's kind. And, you know, when I think about my own life, I can just relate to so many people in this story, like seriously. And I can seriously relate to her. And I feel like that's my life. I feel like I could have been bitter and just, I could be harsh and judge and all the things, but I have made a choice to not do those things. And I have also experienced grief and loss, with loss of relationships. I have had miscarriages, so with loss of babies. And so I just understand the grief that Naomi, Ruth, and Boaz has experienced. This is such a phenomenal book. Our lunch is 1 hour long, like 30 minutes of free time. Did you hear them? All the noise. And 30 minutes of eating. And I think I have used the entire time to read. And I am going to eat something. It's just soup, so it'll be a quick little thing. But it's just such a good book. Oh, I just don't know what to do with myself. And then I don't know what to do with myself when I'm finished. But then I guess because I've got more books like it, I can just keep going. But like I'm halfway through it. It's so amazing. Even if nobody watches this, like, I'm just so happy to have it for myself. Like, to be able to go back and hear my thoughts and my emotions and to just see how this book really touched and impacted me. There are some other books that I've read and I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, well, what happened in that part? And I don't necessarily have all of them. And then what I started doing was writing down my thoughts and things as I'm reading books. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, why didn't I think of that? And so recently when I did the Not a Word, I decided to like vlog it. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to vlog it this way too. So I'm not saying I'm going to vlog every book from now on out, but Some books you just need that. You just need to savor that, and this is one of those books. I wish I had blogged Daughter of the Nile. Was it Daughter of the Nile? I think so. That was another good book. My son's over here shaking his butt. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know what's going on with my life. I'm just
get your attention.
trying to get my life together.
I need the sponsorship.
I
need it.
Y'all. I can't.
I need it.
Hey, that's my bag. Okay, now.
At least you can pull your pants up. Okay, I'm almost at chapter 26. So much has happened, but the baby, oh my goodness, okay. So, I think we left off. So we know the story. Naomi suggests to Ruth. Oh, but we gotta go back. There was a fire. There was a fire at the field, and Ruth was putting it out. She puts the fire out. She goes to stay in Boaz's house. Naomi comes to. He takes care of her. There's a little event. I won't give all that away, but she stays with him a couple days. She goes home. He sends her gifts. She doesn't touch them. She goes back to work. There's some more things that happen I won't tell you. But eventually her friends get married, and her mother-in-law tells her, go lay at his feet, uncover his feet. And he tells her, yes, he desires her. He wants to be with her. He wants to marry her, but there is another kin. He talks about it. He's like, okay, he's praying, like, what can I do about it? He's able to trick the guy, so he's able to have her for himself. They get married within a week. She gets pregnant. She's supposed to be barren. She gets pregnant. So a doctor from Egypt comes and tells him the news. And he's worried. Come on. He has lost, I think, 2 babies, 3 babies. He's lost a lot of babies, actually. He's lost a lot of babies. And then he lost his wife. So you can imagine how he feels. And I remember after having my first miscarriage, the next baby that I carried, I just wondered every time. And then I had a baby. So I had a baby. I lost a baby. I had a baby. Thought I was going to lose a baby. No. I had a baby. I lost a baby. I had a baby. I lost a baby. So then I was worried. Would I lose a baby? You know, that constant fear. Is this going to happen to me? It's real. And I remember in those moments where I had to really trust the Most High God. Like, I really had to have confidence and faith that He's faithful, that He's just, and that He's got me. And it's kind of hard to be like, but He didn't in the past. But it's like, I just didn't understand. I don't have His understanding. I don't have His knowledge and His wisdom. I don't see what He can't see. I don't know what He can't know. And I just have to trust and believe Him even when I don't like it. Even when it doesn't feel good, I still have to trust that He has my best interests at heart. And oh, it was such a hard walk. But my faith grew so strong. And so if you think there's any faith in me, it came from those moments. And so now she's having a baby. The baby's coming, and they're praying because it's taking too long. And the midwives and doctors are starting to get a little worried. And they're saying the baby's coming sideways. She's losing too much blood. There's so much going on. And he's praying, and he's thought about the name Obed. And he's saying Obed means worshiper, the servant of the Lord. And the physician said, look, there's the head. I don't understand it, but the baby must have righted itself. Another push message and the head will emerge. Boaz continued to pray, his hands on her belly, his voice a soothing murmur that calms her. Ruth grew quiet. From somewhere she found the strength to give another mighty push. The room started to spin. She lost sight of everything but pain. A feeble cry filled the room, her child's. That meowing sound was enough to revive her. Boaz caressed her hair back off her cheeks. He tried to kiss that beloved hand to hold it against her. She found she was too weak to do anything but flop back against Naomi's chest. "Oh boy, you have a son, Message," a man's voice cried. "Is he healthy?" Her voice came out of thread. She worried that they might not hear her. "Perfectly made and just as large as a 2-month-old babe," the midwife said. Taking a shallow breath, Ruth asked, "Can I hold them?" "Here, my dear. Let me lay him on your chest." Oh my goodness, I love this so much. So, sidebar, I am not a midwife, but I did, I was there when my friend had her baby, and I helped her deliver her baby. I delivered her baby with her. That was such a beautiful moment for me. And not only that, my last 2 children, I had water births that were unassisted. So I delivered my own baby again. So this is just such a sweet little, oh my goodness, sweet little moment. So I'm almost done with the book. I just snuck a few more minutes in, but I've got to get dressed because it's time to go to Bible study. You probably will never, or you rarely see me without my lipstick on and without my dresses, but I knew that today was going to be Bible study, so I decided I would get my shower and get taken care of before I go to Bible study, versus in the morning when I know by the afternoon I'm going to be, like you see me in my blogs, I'm going to be like, you know. So I figured I would just be fresh before Bible study instead of being sweaty. But I'm loving this book. It's so good. It's so good. You guys are getting to know like so much about me that you probably didn't know. You might be like, "Whoa, it's just TMI, this lady." So when she had the baby, Ruth was out for about 4 days. And so everyone thought they lost her. And it's just so sweet. She's back. She's back. And I think she had an experience. She wanted to go into the garden, but she heard her son and her husband, and she came back. And it's just so sweet. Everybody's like crying over her. Everybody's like worried. And Boaz is like yelling like, "Hey," like, "Mom and Dina," and like food, and they're like, "What's going on, Boaz? Like, why are you screaming?" And she's back. She's awake. She's alive. Oh my goodness, it's like so emotional. She didn't die. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is where I have left off with the blog, and I'm just picking it back up today in the homeschool room. And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for joining me on my blog as I journeyed through the book. It was such a great book. I feel like there wasn't a lot of new things that I learned in this book that I hadn't learned before, as opposed to Jewel of the Nile, where I learned a whole new culture and things like that. However, there were so many amazing elements here that really stuck true to the biblical lines, and it was very close to scriptures. It was a really encouraging book, seeing the faith brought out in action, seeing how our faith and how our love can impact people, how it can change them from the deepest, darkest places. They can be transformed into light and into love. And all we have to do is keep living our lives and doing what we're commissioned and called to do. And they'll be drawn to and attracted to the light that just gives peace and joy and hope and purpose. And so I really am so excited about this book. I think it was an amazing book. I was so glad that I was able to read it. I did wonder what happened to Opal, but I mean, the Bible doesn't tell us that either. So, that's that. I really loved the idea that Ruth passed on her slingshot to David, and that's what he used when he fought Goliath. Like, stop right there. Like, that was such an amazing insinuation, and it could have really happened, because how many people pass on things to their children's children and children's children's children? They leave an inheritance behind 4 generations. And so I do think that that is a possibility. Do I know that that's what happened? No, but it's just fun to think about. And there was just a couple other things in the book, but I think the biggest thing is just moving forward, moving on, trying again, beginning again, not judging, just being generous, loving, kind, and honest. And if you do that, you will reap, because you reap what you sow. And so there's no way that you could save a burning field and you not receive. You know, she has sown, Ruth has sown so many amazing seeds, and it was only time that the seeds come forth. And so I encourage you to be encouraged in your time of barrenness, in your time of lack, in your time of misunderstanding, of struggles, of trials, of loss and grief, of pain. You know, remember, it was about a 10-year period, according to this book, not biblically necessarily, from when Boaz lost his first wife and his children to when he met Ruth and started over again. And also keep in mind, you know, how long it was that Ruth tried with her husband to have a child and was not able. So I just want to encourage you, if you're trying, if you're dreaming, if you're praying for a husband or for a child or for this or for that, don't get discouraged and wait, because sooner or later your timing, I believe, will come. And so it's all about what you do while you're waiting. And I suggest that while you're waiting, that you pray and that you praise him, and that you are being found diligent and working in a field in a mighty way. So thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. You know, I always say here on my channel, read another book. And until the next video, blessings. If you haven't already, please give me a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss other videos like this, and I can just go ahead and give you like a little I already have another vlog coming out. I've got my first Pango haul coming out. I also have another unboxing of the subscription box Strong and Fierce coming out. So I have lots of goodies that you don't want to miss on this channel, and you definitely want to subscribe and stay tuned, because I'm doing something absolutely phenomenal come the beginning of the year. So that's it for this video. Blessings.
Bye.